Good morning, welcome back to Casa TexPina. We're on build day number 128. The welders just showed up on site, bringing the first samples of a completed fence grill, and we're going to take a look at that here in a little bit. Other than that, today we've got lots of plaster coating going on upstairs, down in the pantry, and along the fence line, both here in the front, and we have some concrete work going on with the fence line along the adjoining the neighbor's fence in the back. I believe what they're working on today is building the forms for it, so that we can pour that concrete, those posts, a little later on today. If not the posts, then the first thing they'll be working on is hollow block to make sure that we've got the height that we need for that wall. That's typically the way they do it, is blocks first and then posts. We'll watch how that goes throughout today. Mr. Jojo here on the front is continuing with rendering of the front porch columns. So he's gonna render it a little bit more, some more plaster coating, make them a little out to full thickness. Also, Mr. Allen and Mr. Alex are over here working on the fiber cement board wall cladding. So those are continuing today. As people get around and start working, well, they already started working. I haven't. So as I get started, we'll take you around. So let's get started. First thing coming up, fence grill. This one's already been completed to the proper height. All the uprights are in the middle, and we're going to take a look and see how it comes out once it fits into place. Must be heavy. We've got 6 gentlemen on this. Looking good. Very nice looking. Yeah, this is temporary, so this is just the first shot at it. Oh yeah. Looks good. I like the design. Yep. Hope ya. We're having breakfast. We got extra biscuits for breakfast. Hope ya.
Hey, look at all the prisoners.
Yeah, it looks good.
Look at all the prisoners.
Hey. They're waiting for their food. Ding, 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 ding. All right, we're going to start going through the garage here since we're already on this side of the house. Mr. Chucks is continuing with the conduit over on this side. And good thing is, over on this side, at least he's close to where the electrical panels are going to be. So we're supposed to have one large 200 amp panel that's going to be here that's going to feed the entire house, I believe. We'll take another look at it later. Mr. Gabby here is running mortar mix for Mr. Jojo and the big cat Romy out front. He almost dropped it. And then in here in the middle, we've also got, in the pantry, Mr. Jericho is doing the plaster coating. I told him we call that being in mushroom status. They're being in the dark and just fed a bunch of stuff. All right, let's go take a walk upstairs. As you can see, this turned out really well yesterday. This is also Mr. Jericho's work. Looks like it's going to be a nice coat closet when we get done. Okay, so like I said, let's go upstairs. Mr. Wilson and Mr. Ben are working on the projector screen wall. So I put the pressure on them this morning and said, hey, this needs to be the best wall in the house, okay? And they said, why? I said, because this is what I'm going to use for a projector screen. If the wall looks good, I should be able to use it just on the wall. If it doesn't, I'll end up with a projector screen. So I'm hoping it comes out really nice, because most of their work on the plaster coating. The smooth coat finish is really fine. I think it should be good for doing the projector screen, as long as we don't have a lot of waves and ripples in it, so it doesn't have shadows. I'm expecting good work out of these guys. These are some of our best plaster coaters. And the welders are right back into action, bringing in the steel floor joists. These are the basically 2x4s, metal 2x4s that they're using. Now remember, again, from yesterday, these are actually at the full size 2" by 4", or actually in the equivalent metric measurements. So yeah, this is basically 2 inches and a good 4 on this side. So these are what they're using for the steel floor joists. And we should do a weight test sometime today if the fiber cement board for the flooring shows up. Now out here on the front, Mr. Jojo is continuing to do the rendering for the columns. Andrew, I believe you mentioned, I didn't see the comment on the actual video, but on the YouTube, it did show me I had a comment there somewhere. Yeah, we've got a cold joint, a couple of them throughout the columns. So yeah, but they're being covered up with the plaster coat with the mortar mix. Should not have a problem with strength, as in majority of this is kind of lightweight anyway, compared to the rest of the house. So we're going out on this. If you can see where the string lines are, this is actually how thick Mr. Jojo is going to make this columns. So we're going to have some good thick columns here. Also over here, Mr. Allen and Mr. Alex are continuing with the fiber cement board wall cladding. Let's take a look at what he's got coming on. Pardon me. So they're continuing to work this side now. Mr. Allen finished this side yesterday, and today he's going to work this side. And then if I'm guessing right, I never guess right, he's going to continue down this way. We'll see. And Mr. Romy, good morning. He's continuing to work on the plaster coat here for the exterior of the fence. He may get redirected at some point back over to the other side if the welders are going to try to bring in another fence grill for placement tomorrow. Probably back on the other side of the house where I showed you guys earlier the test. So what it looks like we're going to be doing here is they're going to use the forms to put into place the bottom base, you want to say, the foundation base for the brick wall, so for the hollow block wall. So they're going to fill up the base here a little bit and then start putting blocks on top of it, wet setting that portion.
I wanted to show something safety related that I am very impressed with. My wife Emie tells me that this happened yesterday, but I just now noticed. The site foreman went by, and all of these rebars that are sticking up from the foundation wall for the back patio have all been covered. They've all got something on them, so that somebody can see, hey, there's something here, don't hit it, don't step on it, don't rub up against it. This is a first for us. I'm impressed. I like it. Good job, foreman.
All right, we're coming along with this steel floor framing. The floor joists are coming along nicely, getting spaced out. All right, starting to wet set the first course of hollow block on the fence line. Getting it as close as we can to the other side, and we're just going to dump some extra mortar in behind. After the 4-inch? Oh, this, yeah, these are 5-inch on the bottom for the foundation, and then after this is going to be 4-inch, so we'll be able to move it as close as we can to that wall. Looking good, and they're continuing with the concrete down a little bit further as we go. So Mr. Carlito here is putting in the 5-inch base, and then we'll top those with the 4-inch. All right. Another big load of Vibra sand, they call this. It's already been pre-sifted. So we'll see how this goes, and making for more mortar and really fine cement. Well, the welders have made the turn, so they've got all the floor joists similar to this. Going this way over the master suite. Now they made the turn, they're getting ready to come this way over the foyer. That's where Mr. Joseph is up on top. Foreman Donde down here measuring, make sure we get the right distances and cut them down to size. Mr. Jonah here helping out. All right, now guys are continuing to work the screen wall for the media room. Looks really rough right now, but this is only intermediate stage. We'll check back on these guys in a good 20-30 minutes, or maybe even a couple hours. Closer to the end of the day, we'll see how it comes out. So want to look from above, bird's eye view of what these guys are doing. This is the welders. They're getting these things, the joists in place. They'll tack weld one spot and then square it up, make sure it's good to go, and tack weld the other spot. All right, up here on the front we've got one post done up to size. It's been rendered properly all the way around. Notice it is left with a rough finish, so there will be something else going on top. And the hole has been left as well for putting in the junction box for the light here on the front, the column light. And he's continuing to work the other one as well. And over here around the corner, good afternoon. Everybody giving Big Cat Romy over here a hard time. All right, looks like got another delivery, another 100 bags of cement and more rebar. These all appear to be number 10. Yep, 10 millimeter rebar. Sorry, not number 10. 10 millimeter rebar. 1, 2, 3, 4 4 bundles. And the this is supposed to be for the cabinets, possibly for the cabinets in the kitchen area, I'm guessing. I'll have to find out here in a moment. Taking a look from underneath the attic. Steel floor framing is really coming together. This looks good from underneath. Like I said earlier, the guys turned the corner. They are really cruising. I'm walking around right now while they're all over here taking their break. So I'm looking around. This looks really good so far, coming over the top of the foyer and dining room area. And we're going to continue this way. Up here inside the pantry, Mr. Jericho has finished the top piece here and is continuing to work the bottom half. I was joking with him this morning and told him he's been put in mushroom status. We're going to keep him in the dark and feed him more crap. He chuckled and laughed. I think he got it. I was right. It's kind of for the kitchen. A little long. We're going to have the oven here, but the rest of it looks good so far. Yeah, that end's a little short because they're going to do another one from this side right here. So we'll take a look at it. All right now we're working on a test fit for the cabinet shell. This is just a jig, trying to figure out how it's all going to work for the base cabinets. They will take this back to the shop and make corrections and changes and bring them back at a later point. All right, we're going to walk around this afternoon and see where everybody's at so far. Work in progress. It's about, what do I got now? 4:15. So these guys got about another 30 to 35 minutes. So they're doing the smooth coat, the smooth finish on the top half up here. They will most definitely finish that this morning, this afternoon. Okay. Over here, Mr. Chucks is squaring out the outlet covers, or the outlet holes, so that when they come back afterwards, these will have a nice smooth finish, squared, so that when we put the actual face plates on it, it's going to look good. All right, let's go ahead and go downstairs and see where everybody's at. As you can see, our welders are continuing to work on the steel floor framing for the attic. I am super impressed. This is going to be a very strong floor system. No problems holding my weight up here. We don't have the fiber cement board didn't show up today, so we will test fit when it does show up. Okay, out here on the front porch, Mr. Jojo has been working the front columns, getting them rendered, as they call it, or plaster coated up to the full size. So we're looking good here, and we've got the places marked on both that show where the wall lights are going to go. So we're going to have the mounted porch lights here. Those are going to be good. Let's go ahead and go around to the back of the house. Over here on the side, you saw Mr. Allen earlier inside in the kitchen, working with the engineer for the cabinet spacing. They're still working on that. But here, before he went in, they finished this piece of the fiber cement board wall cladding. Got partially completed here. They will complete this tomorrow. And Big Cat Mr. Romy has been slowly working on the fence line here. But it looks good. Good work. All right. Now then, the last big thing going on outside has been the fence line. This has been a slow work in progress because our neighbor's fence, as you can see, had a very rough finish. So this very rough finish here, what they're having to do is chip and chisel that out as they go along to be able to get these hollow blocks as close as possible to it. So they're working on that. This end down here, they're already on the third course, and they are putting in the tie rod. So let me go show you what the end looks like way down there where Mr. Carlito is, and see what a difficult time he's been having. All right, so down here on this end, young Carlito's been having a struggle. So you can see here on the end where the the neighbor's fence line had a lot of excess mortar left over, so it makes it really hard to get our blocks up flush because they got to go back behind and chisel all this off. Every course of block on the way up, they have to do this. So you can see here, they've gotten this as close as they can get it. They've been chipping away at this, and without degrading his fence line too much, we're trying to get it as close as possible. Meanwhile, trying to keep it all straight. Notice the string lines, and putting in our mortar, and also putting in the tie rod that will go here when he's done. So, struggling, but a work in progress. Yabba dabba doo! It's either yabba dabba doo time or time to go to mass. I don't know. I think it's yabba dabba doo time. So, a lot of good work got done today, making forward progress. The major thing to say that was significantly completed is the, actually not completed, but significant progress made, is the attic steel floor framing. They made the turn and started coming over the entry, the foyer and guest hallways. So we'll see some more of that coming out tomorrow as well. Got the rendering done on the front of the front porch here for the two columns. So they're continuing to work on those. And we got to see what the fence grill gate, the fence grills will look like. This is like a semi-completed project, prototype. So the little stripes at the tops and bottom where you see that they made the bends, they said they're going to finish those with a Bondo type material that will be used like a metal filler, and then they'll finish that out. We have yet to decide on the colors quite yet. That's going to be Miss Emie's department and the engineer, so they're working on those. Yeah, the back fence, I was showing you guys the issues we're having with that. The workers are working hard and diligently to make sure that that wall is going to be strong and good looking when it's done. So we're continuing to work with that. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we have the fiber cement board to where we can do the weight test on the attic floor. So until we see you tomorrow, have a great afternoon, and let's go through the rest of this. If you liked today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the Casa TexPina star right over here and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen. You'll be notified of our next video upload for your viewing pleasure. So like I said, until we see you again tomorrow, have a great afternoon and God bless. I see you, Shiva, with anticipation.